Hey guys, in this video we're going to check out how to do some congruent angles in triangles review. And the first thing that we need to review is this concept of when you have two parallel lines, so these little indicators indicate that these two lines are parallel, and you have what's called, fancy term, a transversal, which is a line that cuts through two parallel lines. Then you have all these rules like alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, corresponding angles, and same side angles. So you'll need these four concepts within this lesson and unit. So what is the alternate interior angles? So that is if you have two parallel lines, the angles that are inside, interior, and alternating, so they're alternating across the transversal, these two angles are congruent. So if this was 30, then this would also be 30 as well. All right, now let's check out these other ones. So let's say you had alternate exterior angle. So if it's alternating, it's on the opposite side of the transversal. And exterior means that we're on the opposite outside of the two parallel lines, right? So these two, so if this was like 140 degrees, then this would also be 140 degrees. Then let's check out the corresponding angles. So corresponding means that it's on the same side of the transversal and they're pointing in the same direction. So they're pointing that way. Does that make sense? So if this was 30, then this would also be 30. And there's a bunch of other corresponding angles. So you see another one here. So this angle and this angle are corresponding. This angle and this angle are corresponding. All right, and then the last one I want to bust out with you guys is this concept of same side. So same side, you can have same side interior angles. So if you have this angle and this angle, the catch here is that they add up to 180. So for example, if this was 160 degrees, then this one must be 30 degrees because alternate or same side interior angles always add up to 180. Also, same side exterior angles always add up to 180. So if this is 160, this has to be 30 degrees. All right, so let's apply this concept. So what you're going to get is some triangles, and you have to figure out which angles are congruent. So we have a triangle here, so this would be the problem. And we're wondering which angles are congruent. So we see, first thing first, check this out. We see that this line is parallel to this line. And then we have a transversal that cuts through, right? So then we have a picture like this. So then we got our typical parallel lines with transversals. And we know that from alternate interior angles that this angle and this angle are congruent. Okay, so which gives us our final product. And consequently, we also know that this angle is also congruent to this angle. Okay, so from alternate exterior angles, we know that those are congruent. Let's try one more. So we have two triangles that are crisscrossing here, and we see that this is perpendicular. Let's see here. Let's get out some red. So this is parallel to this line, and so that means that we have a transversal going through here. So that means that we have this angle is congruent to this angle. And we know we have another angle slicing through here, or a transversal line. So we know this angle is congruent to this angle. And then one last one I want to throw at you. We have crisscrossing lines like this. Then this angle is congruent to this angle because of vertical angles. So we know that these two angles are congruent. One more example here, it says in the following diagram, use the given and displayed information to decide which angles or sides must be congruent. Justify your answers by using theorems or properties. So we're given that BD, segment BD is perpendicular to EC. So BD, this line is perpendicular to EC. So we know that this angle is 90 and this angle is 90 as well, because that is perpendicular. All right, and do we have any other information? No, so we know these two are equal, And we know that these two triangles share this side. So according to the reflexive property, EC equals EC. So basically we have two triangles here. And we know that this angle is 90 and that angle is 90, and this side is congruent to that side. Okay, so that's it for this section. I highly encourage you to try out some of the self-checks and then try out the quizzes. We'll see you in the next video.